There is a place in America where the forest can fall completely silent in seconds. No warning call. No sudden movement. Just a pause, and then something disappears. Most people have never heard of the deadliest ambush in North America. It doesn't roar across open plains. It doesn't chase its prey for miles. It waits. High in the rugged mountains and dense forests of the American West lives a predator few ever see. The mountain lion, also known as the cougar or puma, moves through wilderness like a shadow with a heartbeat. From the deserts of Arizona to the forests of Montana, and even into the hills above Los Angeles, this cat survives in landscapes that seem too open to hide anything at all. Yet it hides perfectly. Unlike wolves that travel in packs or bears that rely on size and intimidation, the mountain lion survives through precision. It is built for silence. Its padded paws muffle each step. Its muscular hind legs store explosive power. Its flexible spine allows it to launch forward with astonishing force. But its most powerful weapon is patience. The deer never hears it coming. White-tailed deer in the east. Mule deer in the west. They graze in meadows, browse along forest edges, and move cautiously at dawn and dusk. They scan for danger constantly. But their greatest threats often come from a distance: coyotes, wolves, humans. They watch the horizon. They do not always look up the slope behind them. A mountain lion does not chase from far away. It studies. From a rocky ledge or beneath thick brush, it lowers its body until it becomes part of the terrain. Ears forward. Breathing slow. It may wait for 30 minutes. Sometimes longer. The cat chooses one individual. Often a young deer. Sometimes an adult separated from the group. Distance matters. Too far, and the energy cost is too high. Too close, and the deer might detect the slightest movement. The lion waits for the perfect window, usually within 30 feet. Then, in less than 2 seconds, the silence breaks. The hind legs drive forward like coiled springs releasing. The body stretches midair. Claws extend. The impact is sudden and controlled. Unlike predators that rely on prolonged struggle, the mountain lion aims for efficiency. It uses its strength and precision to bring prey down quickly, minimizing risk to itself. In the wild, injury can mean starvation. This strategy, short pursuit, close distance, explosive force, makes the mountain lion one of the most successful ambush predators on the continent. Studies in states like Colorado and California show that cougars succeed in a significant percentage of close-range attacks compared to long-distance chasers. Because they do not waste energy. Because they do not announce themselves. But the forest does. Moments before the strike, birds sometimes flush from nearby trees. A squirrel may freeze mid-climb. Even the wind seems to pause. Prey animals sense tension long before humans ever would. Yet even with heightened senses, the odds favor the hidden hunter. This is not chaos. It is calculation. And it has shaped American wilderness for thousands of years. Long before highways cut through mountains, before suburbs expanded into canyons, mountain lions controlled deer populations across vast territories. Without predators, deer numbers can grow rapidly. Overgrazing follows. Young trees disappear. Riverbanks erode. The ambush does more than feed a predator. It maintains balance. But the story grows more complex as landscapes change. As cities expand into cougar habitat, sightings increase. Not because the lions are multiplying dramatically, but because humans are moving into their ancient pathways. In places like Colorado's Front Range and Southern California's Santa Monica Mountains, mountain lions navigate highways, backyards, and hiking trails. They remain largely unseen. Camera traps placed in urban wildland edges reveal something remarkable. Cougars move mostly at night. They adjust their behavior to avoid people. They are not looking for conflict. They are looking for deer. And deer often thrive near suburban areas where lawns and ornamental plants provide steady food. Where prey goes, predators follow. Yet attacks on humans remain extremely rare. Despite their power, mountain lions do not view humans as typical prey. Most documented encounters end with the cat retreating once identified. The true deadliness of the ambush is reserved for its natural quarry. Still, the idea of an unseen predator unsettles many people. Because unlike a bear standing in plain sight, the mountain lion represents something older. A reminder that wilderness is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet. Indigenous tribes across North America understood this animal differently. To many Native American cultures, the cougar symbolized leadership, stealth, and balance. It was respected, not feared without reason. Stories described it as a guardian of the mountains. Modern science echoes parts of that perspective. Where mountain lions remain present, ecosystems tend to function more naturally. Their predation influences where deer feed. It changes how herds move. This effect, known as a trophic cascade, ripples outward. When deer avoid certain valleys because lions hunt there, vegetation recovers. When vegetation recovers, birds return. Small mammals increase. An ambush becomes an ecological force. Yet the mountain lion itself faces threats. Habitat fragmentation isolates populations. Highways divide territories. Young males dispersing to find new ranges must cross dangerous corridors. Many do not survive the journey. Wildlife overpasses and underpasses in states like Utah and California are beginning to change that. These engineered crossings reconnect fragmented habitats. Trail cameras show cougars using them cautiously at first. Then confidently. Adaptation meets innovation. Still, survival for a solitary predator remains demanding. A single adult mountain lion may require dozens of deer each year. Not every hunt succeeds. Weather shifts scent patterns. Twigs snap unexpectedly. Prey reacts faster than anticipated. Failure is common, which makes each successful ambush critical. Energy gained must outweigh energy spent. The cat will often drag its prey into cover, returning over several days to feed while minimizing detection from scavengers like coyotes or bears. Nothing is wasted. Ravens gather. Foxes wait their turn. Even insects play their role. The forest reclaims what remains. In this system, death sustains life. It is not cruel. It is functional. The true deadliness of this ambush lies not in spectacle, but in efficiency. It is the precision of timing, the understanding of terrain, the patience to wait when hunger presses hardest. Few Americans will ever witness it firsthand. And perhaps that is why it remains misunderstood. The deadliest ambush in America does not announce itself with drama. It unfolds in near silence. And then the forest exhales. The deer herd shifts slightly. Birds return to their branches. Wind moves through leaves once more. Life continues. But somewhere in the underbrush, a predator feeds, ensuring that the balance of the mountain endures for another day. The silence was never empty. It was watching. And it will watch again. In some parts of America, the land itself becomes a weapon. Steep canyons. Broken ridgelines. Thick brush that swallows sound. This is where the ambush becomes nearly invisible. The mountain lion does not simply rely on strength. It relies on geography. Across the American West, landscapes vary dramatically. Rocky cliffs in Montana. Chaparral-covered hills in California. Pinyon-juniper woodlands in Nevada. Each terrain offers different advantages. In open grasslands, the cougar keeps low and uses shallow depressions for concealment. In forests, it moves along shadow lines cast by tree trunks. In canyon country, it hunts from above. Height changes everything. From an elevated ledge, a mountain lion can study movement below without being detected. Its tawny coat blends with dry grasses and sunlit stone. Prey animals often scan horizontally. They look for motion across the landscape. They rarely expect danger to descend from above. This vertical advantage increases success rates dramatically. Research using GPS collars in states like Wyoming and Colorado has revealed that cougars frequently position themselves on slopes overlooking deer trails. They learn habitual routes. Deer are creatures of pattern. They travel the same ridgelines. They cross at the same saddles. They feed in familiar clearings. Consistency keeps them efficient. But consistency also makes them predictable. The mountain lion studies these routines over days, sometimes weeks. It may rest near a known trail during daylight, conserving energy. It moves into position during the low light of dawn or dusk, when deer are most active. Timing matters as much as distance. Low light reduces visibility. Wind patterns shift downhill in evening hours, carrying scent away from prey. The lion aligns its body with the wind. If its scent travels toward a deer, the opportunity vanishes instantly. A single swirl of air can end a hunt. Because of this, mountain lions often abandon promising positions when the wind changes. Patience outweighs urgency. Another critical factor is cover density. In places like the Santa Monica Mountains of California, dense chaparral shrubs create near-perfect concealment. To human eyes, the brush may look sparse. To a deer, it seems open enough to relax. But a cougar can flatten its body and disappear within inches of visibility. Its shoulder blades move independently beneath the skin, allowing a smooth, low crawl. Step by step. When the deer lowers its head to feed, its field of vision narrows. That is the moment the lion advances. If the deer raises its head unexpectedly, the lion freezes instantly. Stillness is survival. A motionless predator is harder to detect than a slow-moving one. The ambush often unfolds within a space no larger than a suburban backyard. There is no marathon chase. In fact, mountain lions avoid long pursuits whenever possible. Extended chases drain energy and increase the chance of injury. Unlike pack hunters such as wolves, cougars cannot rely on teammates. Every decision is individual. If a hunt fails, the lion may not attempt another immediately. It retreats. It reassesses. Energy must be conserved for the next opportunity. This strategy explains why deer often appear calm in cougar territory. Predation is intense but intermittent. The lion does not hunt constantly. Instead, it operates in cycles. A successful kill may sustain it for several days. During that time, it rests and feeds. Movement decreases. Then hunger returns. And the pattern resumes. But geography affects more than hunting. It also shapes territory size. An adult male mountain lion may control a range spanning over 100 square miles, depending on prey availability and terrain. Females typically occupy smaller areas. Mountain ridges, rivers, and highways can form boundaries. Young males dispersing from their mothers must travel long distances to establish new territories. This is one of the most dangerous periods of their lives. As development expands, natural corridors shrink. In Southern California, for example, multiple freeways cut through cougar habitat. Wildlife biologists tracking collared lions have documented attempts to cross these roads under cover of darkness. Some succeed. Many do not. Fragmentation isolates populations genetically. When animals cannot move freely, inbreeding increases. This weakens long-term survival prospects. In recent years, conservation efforts have focused on reconnecting these fragmented landscapes. Large wildlife crossings are being constructed to allow safe passage over busy highways. Early monitoring shows mountain lions cautiously exploring these structures. Instinct meets adaptation once again. Yet even as humans alter the land, the cougar adjusts. In areas near urban edges, research has revealed a shift in activity patterns. Mountain lions become more nocturnal. They reduce daytime movement. They avoid well-used trails. This flexibility is one reason they remain present in places where many large predators have disappeared. But adaptability has limits. Increased encounters can occur when deer concentrate near neighborhoods. Artificial irrigation and ornamental plants create year-round food for deer. With prey nearby, cougars may pass through suburban spaces unnoticed. Trail cameras have captured them moving along fences, crossing golf courses, and navigating drainage corridors. Almost always at night. Almost always unseen. The deadliest ambush in America is not confined to remote wilderness. It can unfold within miles of major cities. And yet most residents remain unaware. Because the mountain lion prefers invisibility over confrontation. When conflicts occur, They are typically the result of unusual circumstances. A lion may be young and inexperienced. It may be cornered. It may mistake a small animal for prey. These situations are rare compared to the millions of peaceful human-wildlife overlaps each year. Understanding geography helps explain why. Cougars choose locations where success is likely and risk is low. Human presence increases risk. Therefore, avoidance is the default behavior. But for deer, avoidance is more complicated. They must balance feeding opportunities with safety. When predation pressure increases in one valley, deer may shift to another. This movement pattern prevents overgrazing in any single area. Over time, plant communities recover in high-risk zones. Saplings grow taller. Shrubs thicken. Bird species that depend on dense cover return. The influence of the ambush spreads beyond predator and prey. It shapes the landscape itself. In regions where mountain lions have been reduced or removed, deer populations often expand rapidly. Vegetation declines. Riverbanks erode as plant roots disappear. This can affect water quality and fish habitats downstream. One predator, operating silently, can influence entire watersheds. That is the scale of impact hidden behind a single leap. The turning point in understanding this ambush lies here. It is not defined by violence. It is defined by restraint. The mountain lion does not hunt indiscriminately. It selects carefully. It strikes precisely. And it rests. This rhythm prevents ecological imbalance. Without it, landscapes can change in ways that ripple outward for decades. Scientists studying predator-prey dynamics often describe apex predators as keystone species. Remove them, and systems shift dramatically. Keep them present, and balance persists, even if that balance includes moments of sudden silence. The geography of disappearance is not random. It is calculated by instinct and refined by experience. A young cougar learns from its mother where to wait, how to approach, when to retreat. For nearly 2 years, a cub observes before living independently. Mistakes during this learning period are common. Some hunts fail entirely. But those that succeed teach lessons written into muscle memory. Angle of approach. Wind direction. Timing of dusk. Each factor adds to a growing internal map of opportunity. By adulthood, a mountain lion becomes a master of terrain. It knows which ridges funnel deer movement during winter migration. It knows which canyons offer shade during summer heat. It knows where to remain unseen. And that knowledge sustains it in a landscape increasingly shared with humans. The deadliest ambush in America is not loud enough to echo across valleys. It is quiet enough to be missed entirely. A single deer steps forward into an open patch. A single predator waits within brush only feet away. A calculation unfolds in less than a heartbeat. Then movement. Then stillness again. The land absorbs the event without spectacle. No lasting disturbance. No prolonged chaos. Just another thread woven into the fabric of wilderness. The geography remains. The patterns continue. And somewhere in the vast American landscape, a slope above a game trail holds more than rock and grass. It holds patience. Waiting for the next moment when silence becomes strategy. What happens after the ambush is over? The forest does not freeze in fear. It adjusts. The mountain lion feeds quietly, often dragging its prey into cover. This reduces competition. It lowers the chance of confrontation with scavengers. Efficiency continues even after the strike. For several days, the lion may return to the same hidden location. It eats in intervals. It rests nearby, conserving energy. This pattern serves a purpose. A large predator cannot afford constant hunting. Every chase carries risk. Every injury could become fatal in the wild. By maximizing one successful hunt, the cougar reduces future danger to itself. But it is never alone in the ecosystem. Ravens often arrive first. Their sharp eyesight detects disturbance from high above. They gather in nearby trees, calling softly. Coyotes may circle at a distance. Foxes wait patiently for opportunity. Even black bears, when present, sometimes investigate the scent. The mountain lion's decision then becomes strategic. If the carcass can be defended safely, it remains. If the risk outweighs the reward, the lion retreats and searches elsewhere. Survival depends on judgment, not stubbornness. Eventually, what remains nourishes smaller lives. Insects break down tissue. Soil absorbs nutrients. Plants draw sustenance from what returns to the earth. The ambush becomes part of a larger cycle. Yet the most profound impact is not immediate. It unfolds in behavior. Deer that survive an encounter rarely forget it. They become more alert in certain valleys. They hesitate longer at forest edges. Groups shift grazing times. This constant awareness changes how landscapes are used. In areas where cougars actively hunt, deer avoid lingering too long in exposed meadows. They move more frequently. They browse less intensively in one spot. This subtle pressure protects vegetation from overuse. Young trees stand a better chance of reaching maturity. Shrub layers thicken. With thicker vegetation comes shelter for songbirds. Small mammals find more cover from aerial predators. The influence spreads outward. Scientists call this the ecology of fear. It does not mean panic dominates the forest. It means risk shapes behavior. Predators do not need to eliminate large numbers of prey to shape ecosystems. Their presence alone changes decisions. And decisions change landscapes. The mountain lion, though solitary and rarely seen, becomes an architect of balance. But balance in modern America is fragile. As cities expand and wildlands shrink, the margin for coexistence narrows. Habitat loss remains one of the greatest threats to large predators. When open corridors disappear, young lions struggle to establish territories. Competition intensifies. Increased competition can lead to more frequent movement through human-adjacent areas. This is not aggression. It is necessity. Wildlife agencies across the United States now rely on advanced tracking technology to understand these patterns. GPS collars provide data on movement, resting sites, and hunting frequency. The findings reveal something important. Mountain lions overwhelmingly avoid direct human contact. They alter routes to bypass active neighborhoods. They cross roads at quieter hours. They seek dense cover during daylight. In most regions, coexistence already exists quietly. The deadliest ambush in America unfolds largely outside human awareness. And yet public perception often paints a different image. Large predators stir deep emotion. They symbolize wildness in a country increasingly shaped by development. For some, that wildness inspires awe. For others, it triggers unease. But data tells a steady story. Human encounters remain exceptionally rare relative to population size and geographic overlap. When attacks do occur, investigations often reveal unusual circumstances: a young lion testing boundaries, a mistaken identification of movement, or an animal under stress. Education and awareness significantly reduce risk. Simple precautions, such as hiking in groups and maintaining visibility, help maintain the natural boundary cougars prefer to keep. The turning point in this story is not about dominance. It is about understanding. The ambush, when viewed closely, is not reckless violence. It is a refined survival method developed over thousands of years. It ensures that prey populations remain healthy. It strengthens herds by removing vulnerable individuals. Over time, this selective pressure can improve overall resilience. Healthy deer populations support sustainable ecosystems. Sustainable ecosystems support diverse life. Remove the predator, and unintended consequences follow. In regions where large carnivores have been historically eliminated, wildlife managers often face difficult challenges. Deer numbers surge beyond what habitats can sustain. Vehicle collisions increase. Agricultural damage rises. Human intervention then replaces natural regulation. Controlled hunts and culling programs attempt to restore balance artificially. But these efforts rarely replicate the nuanced influence of a living predator. A mountain lion does not simply reduce numbers. It influences movement. It shapes caution. It redistributes grazing pressure across terrain. This complexity cannot be fully replaced. Meanwhile, conservation strategies are evolving. Wildlife crossings reconnect fragmented habitats. Public education campaigns promote coexistence. Research continues to refine understanding of predator-prey dynamics. In some areas, populations stabilize as landscapes are better managed. Hope emerges not from eliminating the ambush, but from recognizing its role. There is another layer often overlooked. The presence of a top predator signals ecological integrity. If a landscape can support a mountain lion, it likely supports healthy prey populations, sufficient cover, and intact water systems. The cougar becomes an indicator species for wilderness health. Its survival reflects the resilience of the land itself. As climate patterns shift, this resilience becomes even more important. Drought alters vegetation growth. Wildfire reshapes habitat. Mountain lions adapt by shifting ranges, following prey into new elevations or regions. Their flexibility helps stabilize ecosystems during transition. The ambush, therefore, is not static. It evolves alongside environmental change. Yet it retains its core principle: patience over pursuit. Somewhere tonight, in a canyon or forest clearing, a mountain lion lowers its body against the earth. Wind brushes past its whiskers. Below, a deer moves cautiously through fading light. Neither animal understands the broader ecological theories that describe their interaction. They respond to instinct. But instinct, refined over millennia, sustains balance more effectively than any deliberate design. The moment of action will be brief. The aftermath will ripple quietly outward. By morning, birds will sing again. Sunlight will touch the same slope. And the forest will continue its rhythm. The deadliest ambush in America is not defined by spectacle or noise. It is defined by invisibility. It unfolds within seconds. It shapes landscapes for decades. Few will witness it directly. But its influence reaches rivers, valleys, and mountain ridges across the continent. It reminds us that survival in nature is rarely about constant motion. Often, it is about knowing when not to move. In the end, the mountain lion does not seek to dominate the wilderness. It participates in it. Its patience protects forests. Its precision supports balance. And its silence, though unsettling to some, is a sign that the wild still functions as it was meant to. The forest does not mourn. It recalibrates. Life continues, shaped by unseen decisions made in moments of stillness. Somewhere beyond the noise of highways and cities, the slope above a narrow trail holds a quiet figure once more. Waiting. Not for chaos, but for the next necessary turn in an ancient cycle that keeps the American wilderness alive.